What is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you the most overpowered 4-4-2 formation. I've been given somebody else's tactics a go. I saw them. I like playing 4-4-2. It is my standard formation as I go into it. I like it on the kind of balanced aspect, and this one has definitely proven to be at least very decent. So this is kind of my lineup at the moment. We are waiting for the Alisson pack, potentially going to get Carfu finished. I'm quite happy with everybody else. We got very lucky with Putellas, so we are kind of debuting her today at some point, and then obviously everybody else has been here for a while. So let's get into the tactics. I've started them off at 0. So if we are going to go into the attacking, as I like with the defensive style and build-up play, as well as the chance creation, I am big on the balance on everything. I just find it works much better. Sometimes you might find it a little bit difficult at times, like I believe direct passing was another one that I was a big fan of, but I found that sometimes I just literally needed the balance. I'm very much passing orientated but pushing forward at a reasonable speed. I felt like this worked a lot. Then we go into the width. This is where I was kind of a bit different with the formation, because the way I normally play is not necessarily wide, but as it pretty much is, it is very 50-50. I'm kind of wide when I want to be, but I'll drag my own player out there. But when I'm kind of in the middle, the one thing I was finding with my width being too much was the fact that in the middle was just getting absolutely rocked. As soon as you come up against a 4-3-3 or something of that same imagination, I was just getting overwhelmed. When we come to depth, it isn't anything special. It is 5 more than anything. And to be honest, we went through the whole 71 depth. That's obviously been patched now, and it's kind of been derailed a little bit. So we go back to the tried and tested. Normally, I'll go anywhere between, say, like, I don't think I'd really in this FIFA go down to 45, but there has been times. But then obviously 55 is a good sweet spot just above the normal. Then obviously we've gone with the balance. The width on the attacking side though, the offense, I do drop down a lot more on this formation. I felt like it worked really well. And that goes with the player instructions as well. So it's not just this and then that works. There is a little bit extra for it. We do move players in the box into 5. We then take the corners into 2 and the free kicks into 1. Again, you could mess around with what you want here. Personally, for me, the free kicks, I'm quite happy for it to be kind of as low as possible. If I'm going for a free kick, I'm going to go for the shot. And to be honest, if I'm going for an outer edge where there isn't a shot, I'm predominantly going to pass it anyway. Corner-wise, again, I only need 1 or 2 players in there. You pretty much go for the same man every time, so that's not a problem. If then you kind of don't want to go for the corner, you go for the pass anyway. And players in the box is just naturally running zones also. Formation, we're going to keep it as this. The one thing to always, as we'll go through the instructions, is the fullbacks are normal, you can't switch them. What I go with is the left centre mid is going to be my almost CDM / pushing box to box at times, and then the right hand side, which is Zidan. Because there's no defensive ability there, we are going to go pure box to box, but just helps on the defense. So if we go into the instructions then, so starting off in net, we keep balanced. You can potentially change if you want comes for crosses, but I like the balance. I tend to do normal manual movements as we kind of go in and around the box anyway. The centre backs will stay as normal, stay at the back, whilst don't touch any of them. I don't personally ever touch any of them in any formation, to be honest with you. Now the fullbacks have got a bit of leeway here, because if you are an overlapping fullback sort of person, you could have one or both as overlap. Personally, for me, I'm not a big fan. I don't like overlap. What I personally do with my fullbacks is I will generate the run for them. So it is a double tap of LB, and then they will run forward. If, say, Maldini was holding the ball, a double tap of LB would send Backer up a little bit more, and then the same for Van Dijk and Llorente. So I don't like them doing it themselves. So what I would do with both of these is just go stay back whilst attack. Sometimes it works for other people on the overlap. If you wanted to go for the run type, you obviously go there for the overlap. I'm going to go mixed. Sometimes they go for it, but predominantly, I don't want them always going for it. So that's going to be the back line. Pretty much everybody stay back while attack is on, and then I will create the runs if I find that it's necessary. Then, like we said, in the midfield, these are going to be key components in this attack. So both of them would be cover centre at the minimum. We are then going to have stay back whilst attack for Putellas, being more of the DM and someone who's going to kind of push forward when I tell them to. If I'm finding that I'm having a lot more of a kind of run on the ball, what you potentially could do here is have her more as the DM in one formation. If I'm finding that the midfield is absolutely fine, maybe they're not attacking as much, I could then switch into an ultra attacking where she does push up as well. It all depends on what your opponent is saying. Then with Zidan, we are going to go with a balanced as well, the cover centre, and then we are going to go with stay on the edge of the box for crosses. This is just going to allow him to kind of sit on that semicircle and just wait for the ping. He is the attacking of the two and definitely is the shooting of the two, regardless of Putellas' stats. That is going to be very, very nice. What I could do in potential, if Putellas does seem that little bit more on the attacking side, because she is she is an incredible team of the year, then what I could do is potentially look at getting more of a defensive centre mid and swap out Zidan as potentially a move.
If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders.
But as she is brand new in the game, I've got to kind of get used to her first and see what she's all about. We've only really touched on the gold card a little bit, and we're talking at the very start of the game. So we'll see how that works, but that could be an option if you wanted more of a defensive, a flashback Conte, a Vieira, a Hullet. That could work in the DM, and maybe then Putellas could be a little bit better than Zidan in that attacking element. So with then, we keep going with the instructions. So we've got stay back whilst attack, cover centre. We've got stay on the edge of the box, balanced attack, and also cover centre. Now in terms of the wing, this is where it gets a little bit interesting depending on how you play with the wings. So when it comes to the generic winger, normally you'll keep wide, you'd stay up the top and kind of just keep going with the runs and kind of make them diagonals in. Now this one definitely changed what you were looking at. So this is going to be come back on the defence. So again, pretty good, because then we know that we've, for instance, got two attackers always forward. They're going to be that option. If back has got the ball at left back, they're coming short, they're going to get the pass out. Putellas is going to be there. Mbappe, he has a tactic as well, but he will come short as well to be able to assist down each of the wings, which is very nice indeed. We then have on the, where is it? It is support type. No, it's not that one. It is, which one is it? I'm on the right. Yeah, there it is. Did I not already do that? So each of them are going to have free roam. So come back on defense, free roam, and then the final one is going to be come short. So that is here. So we'll do it on both of them. What this allows these to do is naturally on the defense, you'll come back, so they will assist with defending. They may not actually defend in terms of getting in front of the ball unless your opponent is necessarily going a bit slower on the attack. Then they would be in front of the ball, which would always be nice. We've got the free roam element, so they'll be moving kind of on the wing and then off the wing into the middle for support as well. And they also come short for the ball, which is going to allow space in behind them, which is where the overlap could really work. So if you get the ball in Son, right, kind of where just a bit diagonally left of Putellas, if you get the ball there with Son, you could then trigger Bacca's run. So you're bringing back the right back, for instance, in Son, and then she can kind of go around. The whipped pass then is going to be perfect. If, for instance, I had Bacca and, say, the Team of the Year Honourable Trent, them overlaps are going to be perfect for that whipped pass into the middle then as well. So that is kind of a different way of playing that I've seen in terms of wingers. Normally it is predominantly just stay wide and just bomb down the wing. So it's an interesting element to go with for them wingers. Then we have the two strikers. So you're going to have one that is going to be necessarily coming short, but almost being that number 9. Someone who's going to pick the ball up, drag it by the scruff of the neck, and push it forward. And then you're going to have the other striker, who is pure pace, going to go in and try and finish it. So with Mbappe, what we do with this one is going to be, on the defensive support, he'll be stay forward. As standard, both of them will be stay forward because you do want these two at the very minimum to be there. With this one, then you want to be the false 9, and that's going to be all he needs to do. And then you want the get in behind for him, and he will naturally play that sort of role as well. When it comes to it, getting behind, stay central and stay forward, whereas the other one is going to be false 9 and just stay forward. So what this allows you to do is basically having two strikers that will basically do that. So it will almost be like a line. So you'll have your Son and Garrincha, for instance, kind of coming into the middle a little bit. Once you're going on the attack, pushing straight forward. You'll have Zidan pushing it alongside Mbappe, Putellas dropping into the centre, and then you'd have Eto'o bombing forward. It kind of works as almost a 4-man or technically 5-man counter-attack, with Mbappe being one of the players on the ball, for instance, if you are passing to him. And what I would suggest whenever it comes to the positioning of players, if you've seen the formations then, what we would go with is defenders can just be as good as you need to be. I would recommend, if you're going for the overlap, to have at least the playstyle plus of whipped pass. So, for instance, with Trent, he would be there and he would work really well there. To be honest, I might even give him a try there. Llorente, I just love the pace of him as a right back. But that could work really well for the overlaps. We have Son, to be honest, could do with a rapid, but finesse shot is still decent if you do manage to fall on at the edge of the box. Garrincha, very pacey. We've then got a defensive player and a box-to-box. Again, you could go with more of a defensive. It is just a brand new team for me. And then you've got a player who's got the ball. Rapid is going to be perfect for him anyway, but somebody with confidence on the ball, as well as great shooting and great pace. Whereas then we've got almost our pace merchant. So if you was to, for instance, have like an Adama who can shoot, that would be the perfect position here. Quick step would work, rapid would work. Even if you wanted power shot, if you're getting in behind and being able to go for that power shot early, that is going to be another help as well. That's going to be my formation. Let me know down below what you think, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.